Hi, this is Crystal from the Rain Dance Ranch in Phoenix, Arizona. If you received a sample KABLOOM basket or crate, it may or may not look exactly like this, but it will have plants in it and other things. And one of the things in there is a bag full of black stuff. That is a product called Supercharger Biochar Compost Amendment, which means that you're supposed to dump this into your compost. You could layer it in and then add your greens or your nitrogen-rich materials and then browns on top of it, and continue to build if you are building your compost incrementally like I do. And it needs to sit in your compost for 2 to 4 months. The longer the better, but at least 2 months. And then if you turn your compost often, that's fine as well. But then it will be mixed in with your compost, and when you add it to your planters or your containers into your soil, or you're making soil with it, you will have what I call supercharged soil. And so what it will do is it will give you long-term fertility, and it will slowly release the nutrients and minerals that it had essentially soaked up. They call it's a process called adsorption, not absorption, but adsorption. I don't really find it particularly useful to know that, but a lot of people seem to like to stress that. Basically, it soaks up a lot of goodness, and then it releases it slowly over time. So your soil, once you have this in your soil, that it will help your soil to remain fertile forever. And so if you add this into your compost every year, or with every batch, you add some of this, and then you add that compost to your soil, over time, you might get to the point where you almost never have to use fertilizer. The only thing you might need to check for, if it's important to you and you're already doing it, is pH. I don't know what effect it has on pH, although I have heard that if you use too much at once and you need your pH to be something specific, then you would want to definitely pay attention to that. But using this small amount, it's probably not going to affect the pH that your soil already has. But again, something to watch out for if that's important to you, if that's something that you're checking. But for most people's purposes, I think you'll be fine. Now let me show you the ingredients. Most of what's in here is charcoal. And then I add a little bit of Himalayan sea salt, like maybe a teaspoon, not even that much, probably half a teaspoon. Bat guano, there's about 2 cups of bat guano in there. There's about maybe a 1/4 cup of bone meal, about a tablespoon of powdered vitamin C, a couple tablespoons of bentonite clay, about a cup of blood meal, and a handful of guanabana or soursop leaves. If you don't know what those are, you would make a tea out of those, and then they cure cancer, essentially. Probably like everything that ails you. It's one of those like superfoods. And apparently all parts of the soursop are anti-cancer. But I bought those and they're a little too old for making actual tea to drink out of now. So I thought we should compost them. And I don't know if it will translate into cancer curing soil, but I figure it can't hurt and it can only do good. So anyways, so thank you so much for accepting one of my KABLOOM baskets or crates, and I hope you are successful growing. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. And hopefully you will still have my information in there, but I can be found on YouTube on the Off to Shambhala channel. You should be watching that now. But if you put YouTube and did a search for Rain Dance Ranch, KABLOOM crates, things like that, something might pop up, one of my videos, and you can send me a message on the video. I'm also on Twitter under Rain Dance Ranch, so find me there and you can contact me there. Eventually I'll have a website and other things, but right now, if you received one of these, it was for my beta test, and I'm just testing the market essentially, and testing my products that I'm developing. So I appreciate you being involved, and I look forward to speaking with you sometime. Thank you so much. And remember, when it rains, go out and dance.